So I'm Nick Wolfe from the Wolfe Brothers. Welcome to Australian Musician.
Great to be having a chat, mate. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, Tom, I've spoken to you before, not to you, Nick, but last time we spoke, Tom, was during lockdown. Things have changed,
Yeah,
thankfully.
thank God. Yeah, no, we've been basically since we've been able to. We've been out on the road really hard. We wanted to come out of lockdown and really tour and just get back into it. I think we've always loved touring, but I think being not able to do it just cemented for us that the importance of live music, and not just the importance of it in our life. I think for other people, it brings people together, it makes people happy, and it's very undervalued in our society, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you recall what the first gig was you did after lockdown?
We did it. We did a few in Hobart. We did a really great one, which was sort of full band again. We'd done a sort of a few little acoustic things, we did some in a church, because it was like
A few
COVID, so
loopholes.
all the
Yeah.
all the stuff. But we did a really cool album launch for our Livin The Dream album at Rest Point, and that was really cool. It was,
I think one of the first ones that came back might have been something like Ballina RSL, and it was still like fresh out of the lockdown. They had I think there was actually a sign that said no clapping, dancing, or cheering. So like, well, that's not ideal for what we're about to do. But anyway, we made it work, and thankfully things have relaxed a lot more now, and it's all pretty normal. So it's good to be
Yeah.
back doing it.
Reason we're talking today is the people at the Savannah in the Round Festival have hooked us up.
Yes.
It runs from October 11 to 13 in the Cairns Hinterland. You guys are playing October 11. What's the difference playing outdoors in winter compared to spring in the tropics?
Well, we're going to be hot because it's a long way from where we're from in Tassie. It's beautiful. We've got to do Savannah. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Really cool festival, really unique festival. I personally love the lineup. There's a great mix of like rock and country, and I think those two worlds meet really well together. I mean, if you've sort of listened to what we do, there's a lot of rock influences in what we do. So for us, I'm really excited for this festival. And that's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world up there. We when we were young, our mum and dad took us for a family holiday up to Cairns, and we rode the bikes along the water, and we went up and did the chairlift together as a family. So I personally just have, whenever we're up that way, I just have good, happy memories of that area.
Yeah. So, Nick, will you have time to hang out, or are you just in, play, out, or?
Never too much time to hang out, unfortunately, as it goes. But look, yeah, every time we're up that way, I think, I don't know, it's something in the heat or the atmosphere or the water or whatever it is. But the country music fans and just music fans in general up that way just seem to be that little bit more crazy, which is perfect for us. And we just kind of lift another gear, and as do they, and it's all a great cycle of yeah, having a good time. So they do it well up there, and always love getting up that way. And it's yeah, this will be no exception for sure.
Yeah. Did you guys like playing festivals where you do get the chance to catch up with old friends and meet some new people backstage?
Yeah, I think festival, like we kind of love every facet of how we get to do our live show, whether it be small pub, a church, as Tom said before. Like, I think there's something to take from each one that we really love. But I think festivals, we kind of seem to hit another gear, and it really not that there's competitive aspect between bands and stuff like that, but I think everyone just lifts that extra gear and puts on that bit extra show. Like, we got to leave this stage, giving our all.
And
So
I think there's
it's a good atmosphere.
yeah, there's another level of energy, and I think that comes from the crowd too. Because often with those big festivals, it's not just the local pub show or the local club show. A lot of people are probably traveling from all over the country to come to Savannah to see this lineup. So when you sort of
Yeah.
get all these people together, they're really excited, and we sort of feed off that. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Like, it's always gonna be great. So I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. You're still on the road with the Living the Dream album tour. Which songs off that album have scrubbed up well?
Yeah. Well, Living the Dream, the song itself seems to be a staple in the set now. I think that's kind of here to stay. And that's
Yeah.
just always feels so good. You know, that was kind of a real get back to basics country. You know, you got 1/5 bass. It's just in that pocket. Um, and you know, you kind of don't hear that a lot in modern country now, but that's kind of that kind of stems, from Waylon Jennings, and that it's kind of that sort of feel. So we love playing that because we love that stuff. What else has kicked around from?
We've really made an effort to really try and play everything off the album. With this tour, we did a bunch of theaters, so there was stuff that that worked better in the theaters. Things like Empty Pockets that really worked in there. All in Good Time, that's become a bit of a staple. We tour with the best band, so we let them solo and play, and Scotty comes out and plays the harmonica and shows us how cool he all is, and so I'd say All in Good Time. Here's to the Ones. Yeah, we've really tried to we've really tried to make an effort to mix it up too, and even going into this tour this year, because we have so many sort of loyal fans that will literally come to like 6 shows in a row. We're trying to sort of keep the set list fresh every night. So we've started to even pull some things from the back catalogue that we haven't done in ages, that are sort of like cult things. There's a song off our second album called Red Dress. It was never a single, but like everywhere we go, everyone's like, play Red Dress, play Red Dress. So yeah, we
Those
recently
ones kind of pop up over the years, so it's nice to bust a few of those out.
yeah. So it's been good. The band's in a great place where we're in a position to be able to sort of do that every night and keep it fresh and change it. And for us musically, I love that. It's not like this is the show. That's what we do for 40 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So,
nice
Tom, any new gear since last we spoke? You still playing the Fender Jazz through the Fender Basement?
Yeah, got the Fender Jazz. I bought a bass which Nick absolutely despises. So I bought this Tasco like 1960s Hofner style bass, and it's got like a cello head on it. Like, because I have gear that I love so much. Like you go to a music shop, you see a lot of P basses and a lot of jazzes, and you're like, yeah, well, I've got that covered. So whenever I see something a little different, that's what really tickles my eyes. But yeah, that's sort of my new. That's about the only new thing I've really got. Nick just bought a new Strat, which he's pumped about.
Yeah.
I will say, Tom, that bass of yours, the headstock looks like the end of a staircase handrail. I think that's what I don't like about it. But no, like it's for me, like I always come back to my old blue Strat, which I got when I was 18. It's nothing special. It's a Mexican made. It's. I wish it would like age gracefully and get some great like wear marks and stuff. But that time, it's 20 years old or something now. But that paint is just indestructible. So I've wanted like a relic look Strat for years and years, and I've thought, oh, is there a way I can like get a wood rasp out on this and make it happen? But anyway, we're in Nashville recently, and I found a beautiful Strat, which sunburst relic, and I think that might be the one to finally knock the old blue faithful Strat out. We'll see how we go.
That's a big call. I will see. Nick will get a new guitar and he'll bring it out for like 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks later, the blue Strat returns. So if this is the one that knocks the blue Strat, then he's the one. Look at it's beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go. But it feels very much like my go-to favorite Strat. So if anything's going to do it, I love how that looks. So if anything is going to do it, it's that one.
Do you have a bit of a pedal board happening, Nick, or are you happy just to go through the amp?
I have so my pedal board is a thing made by Laurie Minston. It's like a Mighty Effects thing. It's called the M8, and it's basically a steel box, indestructible, great quality. You know, your basics. You got 2 overdrives, compressor, delay, a reverb, and a clean boost tremolo, I think. And I had him put a phaser in it, so you get the old kind of Waylon Jennings vibe in there too. But as I say, you could run over it with a car and it would still work, which is when in the reality of it, like, and it takes up that much room, you know, and the reality of flying around, I don't want to be carrying on a pedal board like, you know, 4 flights a weekend. So I'm so glad that that thing does everything I need, does it well, and is in a convenient little like box. It goes in my guitar case, so I don't have to think about it, you know. And yeah, and it's so simple too. It's 1 knob per effect, which I love. The knobs are that big, you can change it with your feet, and just in the reality of actually gigging and actually doing the thing, it's perfect, you know.
Can I just add, it sounds really good too. You know, like we've done festivals where all these
It's
guys are
not a
running all this.
compromise, yeah.
No,
It's not
all these guys
compromise.
are running rack gear and all this. You know, you can imagine some guys got more gear than a freaking music shop. And then Nick's got on stage with a Fender Twin and the lorry pedal, and they're like, "Geez, that sounds so good. What are you doing?" It's like, well, it's just that. So I don't know. It's a little bit in the less is more.
Can't speak highly enough about the Laurie Minson pedals. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
You mentioned Nashville before. You played CMA Fest, the Aussie barbecue. How was the vibe there?
It was so great. We hadn't been there for 5 years, so we went over for the festival to see some music, but predominantly for Nick and I, it was a writing trip. I think we wrote 19 songs or 20 songs. So feel like we got some really good stuff, connected with some old friends. Because we spent a lot of time there in the sort of 2010 era. So to saw some old friends and see they're really doing well, and yeah, played the barbecue, and it was great because we were writing so much. We were doing like 2 songwrites a day. The barbecue came about 2 weeks into our trip, so we were so ready to just play a gig. we were so ready, and I think the show was only like 4 or 5 songs because it was a showcase. And I was like, man, can we just do 90 minutes? If we could do 90 minutes, I'd feel really happy after this. So it felt really good, really good. We actually played. It's new music's coming out in July. Brand new music. We played that for the first time. Brand new song called Little by Little, and it felt really good. It felt really, really good to play that live. So yeah, I'm excited to start playing that in the live. Bring that. That's going to come into the live set now, basically.
As of now, yeah.
Yeah.
As of now,
And I see you're also best buddies with Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool experience. Me being probably the extrovert out of the 2 of us, we were hanging out with our label head one night, Natalie Waller. Nat's an absolute gem, and we were hanging out with her, and then she's like, "Oh, I get to go and see Bon Jovi tomorrow and listen to the album." And me being sort of the chirpy one, I was like, I'll come with you. And she's like, "Oh, well, no, it's like a label." I was like, "No, I'll come." She said, "Well, look, I will ask the question." So she sent a text, and the guy was like, "Oh, yeah, you can bring one person." So I got to go into Ocean Way Studios, hear the new Bon Jovi album, and ask him some questions. And yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure Nick still hates me. So
Well, basically, yeah. As the brother who's been in a deep Bon Jovi phase for the last 6 months, I did have some pretty strong feelings about when we got to do that, but
Yeah.
that's all right. I'm dealing with that.
Yeah.
yeah.
As if the weird guitar headstock wasn't enough.
Yeah,
It
sorry
really
about
pushes my buttons.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
brothers.
So by the time you play Savannah in the round, do you think you'll be playing any of this new material?
Yeah, I reckon by the time we play Savannah in the round, we'll have probably another couple of new songs out. Our goal is to sort of release every 6 to 8 weeks. We'd like to get new music out. It's definitely going to be another album. But at the moment, you know, we're just quite enjoying being creative. And if we write something we enjoy, let's go and record it and get it out there. We feel like sometimes in the past, you know, you write an album and then you record it and then, oh, you got to wait to release it. And you got to, you know, you feel like, you know, it takes like 5 years to get songs out. And you're like, God, I just want to
you lose that connection that you had to the initial spark of when you were excited about the song. It gets recorded, gets sat on a shelf, and then for whatever reason, you know, and times kind of change, and then your tastes change, and oh yeah, we're going to put that song out now. But yeah, it's going to be nice to be a bit more spontaneous. We do something, we like it, we record it, we get it out, and yeah, it feels more honest, I guess, that way too, you know. But that's kind of one of the good things about the modern kind of setup with all the streaming, and you know, you can get those things out, and people are going to hear them. I don't have to go and buy the album, which I love everyone to go and buy the physical album. That'd be fantastic. But that is one of the nice elements of it.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to the way music's released now. Like, we love making albums. We've always made albums. This stuff will eventually head into an album, and I think we've both got a pretty clear picture in our head what that is. But we're also just letting it be open, you know. And if we write something that was maybe a little bit out of center than what we thought, but you know, we're going to record it. So creatively, we're feeling like I feel like the best we've ever felt, really. Which is really exciting.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's been great catch up, and we look forward to seeing you at Savannah in the round, and plenty other gigs around the country.
Can't wait, mate. It's gonna be a ball. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks. Great to chat.